Hey, I'm live. I was trying to move a garbage can so you wouldn't see it. Welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And my goal is to save you time and money by giving you the inside scoop on filmmaking quality and content so you what you want to do with your time and your money. Anyway, today the movie I'm reviewing is called That They May Face the Rising Sun. This is a lovely drama and it opened in theaters just a couple of weeks ago. I'm trying to catch up. And so I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell. I'll tell you things I like, things I didn't like, and I'm going to talk pretty fast because I've got an appointment I've got to get to. But this film is rated R. It's an hour and 51 minutes. And my overall movie review mom grade is an A. I thought it was really well done. However, I readily admit that it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And I'll get into that here in just a minute. But first, I wanted to tell you about a product, which happens to be a book that I wrote with my twin sister. It's called Ancestry, How to Research Your Family History and Climb Your Family Tree. You can click on the link down below and it'll take you straight over to that book. And the reason I'm mentioning it is because ancestry and heritage and legacy are all big themes in this movie. All right, so let's dive in. And by the way, I think this movie really flew under the radar for a lot of people. So I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit about it, and then I'll tell you what I thought about it. So in a nutshell, the film is an adaptation of John McGahern's last novel. The film was directed by Pat Collins. Screenwriting credits also go to Pat Collins and Eamon Little, illustrating rural life in Ireland in the 1980s. Already, the movie has been nominated for 12 awards and won 3 from various international film festivals. So kudos to the team. Quick tips for parents. I think kids are going to be completely bored. This is adults talking about life and stuff. So there is some Irish profanity, including several F-bombs, mostly spoken by a crusty old character named Bill, that another character describes as looking like someone from a Russian novel. We see men prepare a dead man's body for burial. So not super family friendly. And other than that, the themes and just the style of filmmaking is probably going to be a little too slow and boring for kids and maybe even for some adults. So some of the themes that are illustrated very well are happiness, generations and aging, rural life, supportive friendships, community, unfinished work, purpose, time, and in search of a peaceful life. So here's the list of things that I really liked about the movie. And actually, let me look and see if anybody's posting any comments. No, I see some people have joined, but no comments yet. Feel free to comment, and I will always look over here to see if there's something that you want me to talk about. Anyway, the list of things that I like starts with the cast. They look like real people, not slick Hollywood actors, which is refreshing. Barry Ward and Anna Bedurkey. Sorry about that, Anna. I don't know how to pronounce your name. But anyway, they give such grounded, solid performances. It was really nice to see a romance between older people, not just young ones. There's lovely cinematography, and I loved all of the background sounds of birds singing, water splashing, bees humming, utensils clanking on dishes, and shoes crunching on pebbles. The whole film feels very earthy and real. And the film moves slowly enough that you can really savor each of those things. It's about daily life in rural Ireland. I love the title of the film. There's a moment early on in the movie when Barry Ward's character looks up and takes in the warmth from the sun above. Somehow we feel it in the moment. That's what this entire movie is like. It's really touching to see how kind and patient Joe and Kate Rutledge are to all of their neighbors. The movie poster, sorry, that's the bad thing about going live is if I have a cough attack, I can't just edit that out. And I've lost my editor, and so that's why I'm doing so many lives. But anyway, the movie poster captures the easy pleasures of life like this movie illustrates. It's really fun to hear the funny Irish expressions that the Irish use. And I had the great pleasure of going to Ireland a couple of years ago. I just loved it. My heritage is part Irish. Um, just lovely. And I wished I had had time on that trip to visit any of my remaining ancestors. I guess they wouldn't be ancestors, my relatives, but we didn't have time to do all of that. I'd like to go again. Anyway, there's a Christmas Day scene, several of them that are just very, very sweet, although it's not a Christmas movie. So, which side of the chicken wing has the most feathers? The outside. Wah, wah, wah. There is some humor, but this is definitely not a comedy. It's more of an easy drama, although not, I shouldn't say easy, a slow drama. Because some of the content's not easy as we're talking about death and life and all that kind of stuff. And then the title of the film comes from the very last scene of the movie, which I just thought was so poignant and so beautiful. Now, with all that praise, there were a few things that I didn't like. For example, I was surprised that the image used at the very beginning during the opening credits wasn't footage. The image was lovely, but would have been better as a film. That being said, it could have been footage, but I didn't see any movement. We see the very exact same image at the very end of the movie, but that time I did see movement. So maybe, we're looking off at a lake and there's just no movement at all in the beginning. And then at the end, you could see ripples in the water. So anyway, I don't know. There really are not that many things that I didn't like about this, but sometimes it is hard to understand what everyone says due to the thick Irish accent. And then also sometimes they whisper or they just speak so softly that I kept leaning in saying, thinking, what'd you say? There will be some who don't enjoy this kind of film because they want something to, quote, happen. It's that kind of a movie, very slowly. I wouldn't even say a big slow build because it's not like this incredible tension and, the big denouement. I don't know. It's just sort of a steady as life kind of sometimes is. So whenever I watch movies, I instantly write down the lines that I hear simply so I can share them with you. And you can get a taste for the dialogue and the script writing quality. I'll share a few of them, but I don't want this to be a super long video. I'm really trying to cut them down shorter. So you can see all of them, the comments on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. Let's see if anybody's left a comment. Nope. All right. That's totally fine. But we've got answers. So here's an interesting line. This is spoken by James E. Murphy, who's played by Philip Dolan, who says, the rain comes down, the sun shines, grass grows, children grow old and die. That's the holy all of it. We all know it full well, but can't even whisper it. And that's the feel of the movie as well. Honest, salt of the earth type of people. Not the beauty of it, living day to day. And again, you feel that and that intentional decision. Another line is, I just really wanted to get into some of those super old farmhouses to clean them. Oh, wait a minute. No, I think that was a comment that I wrote to myself. That was somehow that got mixed in with my quotes. Here's a quote. This is by Sean McKinley's character who says, what use is regret? You can't light the fire with regret. And I just thought there was such great wisdom and subtle humor in a lot of these characters and the lines that they shared. All right, so before we go, I wanted to share two movie references or movie recommendations for films that kind of left me with the same feeling. The first one is called The Banshees of Inisherin, about old Ireland, and some crazy things happen. And at the end of the movie, I was like, how do I feel about this movie? The acting was incredible, and you really get a taste for the time and the location in Ireland. Another one, much more modern, is called P.S. I Love You. It takes place in Ireland, but again, more in modern day times, and it's more of a sad romance type of a story. So kind of also left me with that melancholy feeling. And then the last one is called The Wind That Shakes the Barley. Doesn't that sound like an Irish movie? Again, great acting. And if you want to immerse yourself in Ireland, maybe you're getting ready to go to Ireland, you might get a kick out of those movies, or just be prepared for what you might experience in Ireland. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. If you watch this movie, I hope you do enjoy it. Comment down below after you see it. Let me know what you thought. And I've got more reviews coming. I'm trying to catch up. Thank you so much for all of your support. I really appreciate it. Have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.